morning, students. I welcome back you all to this mathematics class, and today we are discussing class 12 mathematics chapter 5 continuity and differentiability, and in that we are going to start the differentiation of exponential and logarithmic functions. Now let us discuss about exponential function. So what is an exponential function? Exponential function can be referred to as any function y is equal to b raised to the power x, where b is any positive number greater than 1. Such a function is called exponential function. B can be any number, so you can take b to be 2 raised to the power x, or it can be 10 raised to the power x, and so on. So now this x can take any real value, and therefore we have the first point, that is domain of exponential function is R, the set of all real numbers, and range of this exponential function is also the set of all positive real numbers. Even if you take the x to be negative, for example, if I take x to be -2, but still the value of y comes out to be positive. If you take x to be 0, the value of y comes out to be 1. So we see whatever value to x we can give, it can be any real number, but the output is always going to be the set of all positive real numbers, and hence the range of exponential function is the set of all positive real numbers. And one more thing, point 0,1 is always on the graph of exponential function. If you draw the graph of any exponential function, either this or this, you will observe that suppose you take this function and if you put x to be 0, so you will get y to be 2 raised to the power 0, that is 1. If you take y to be 10 raised to the power x, so you can still see that if you put x to be 0, y will be 1. So you can take any value of b. If you put x to be 0, y will come out to be 1. So you get that 0.01 always be there on the graph of exponential function. So now this exponential function, if you take the base as 10, if you take this b, you have defined y to be b raised to the power x. If you take the value of b to be 10, then this type of exponential function will be called common exponential function. Now let us define a number. Let us see that what is natural exponential function. So define a number 1 plus 1 by 1 factorial, 1 by 2 factorial, and so on. If you add up this series, you get an irrational number, which is 2.718, and it is a non-terminating, non-repeating decimal. This is nothing but this number is called e. It is denoted by the symbol e. If you use the base e instead of 10, if you use the base e, then this type of function will be called exponential, natural exponential function. If you take the base to be 10, then the function y will be called the common exponential function. If you take the base to be e, then function y will be called natural exponential function. Now we study about the inverse of exponential function. Now students, if suppose you have any expression b raised to the power x is a, then you can call it as logarithm of a to the base b to be x. This is how we define the logarithm of any number. Logarithm of any number is nothing but it is a terminology to write any exponent. Any exponential statement can be written in terms of log. Now we define the logarithm function. If you have b raised to the power y to be x, then we say log to the base b of x is 1. And this is the logarithmic function. Logarithmic function, as you can see, it is defined from the set of positive real numbers to the set of real numbers. Why? Because this x is always going to take only the positive values. As you can see, x is b raised to the power y. Whatever value you can give to y, negative, positive or 0, the value of x is always going to be positive. And therefore, the domain of logarithm function is the set of positive real numbers, and its range can be any real number. So its range is the set of real numbers. Now let us again concentrate on this base b. As we have done previously in case of exponential function, that if you were taking base to be 10, you were calling it as common exponential function. Now here also you can see here, if the base b is 10, you can see this highlighted portion, in blue highlighted portion. If base b is 10, then this base b we are talking about, then this function will be called common logarithm. And if we take base b to be the number e, then we will say it's to be a natural logarithm function. Now you can always see that natural logarithm function, natural logarithm is denoted by ln. Natural log is denoted by ln, and in this chapter log x will be denoting the logarithmic function to the base e. In this chapter, whenever we say log x, that will mean that it is log to the base e. E is not mentioned at all the places, but whenever log x is written, the base is e. So we are going to study the natural logarithms in this exercise. Also, you can see that this figure, I will show you this figure completely. This is giving you the graphs of logarithm function with different bases. This is, you can see, base 10, graph with base 10, graph with base e, and graph with base 2. So here in this figure you can view the graph of logarithmic function with different bases. Now domain of, we just revised, domain of log function is r positive, r plus, and range it's a set of all real numbers, and 0.10 will always lie on the graph of logarithm function, because we have defined logarithm function this way, as you have seen up, that if b raised to the power y is x, then log to the base b of x is y. This is how we have defined the log function. So b raised to the power y is x. So if you take x to be say 1, so you have to take y to be 0 to get x 1. So we can see that the point 1, 0 always lie on the graph of the log function. You can see here in the graph, this point 1, 0, it will always be there on the graph, and you can see all the graphs of log function with different bases, all of them are passing through the point 1, 0. Now let us study some properties of logarithmic function. Log to the base b of pq, where p and q are multiplied, will be equal to log to the base of p plus log to the base b of q. Second one, log to the base b of p upon q will be equal to log to the base b of p minus log to the base b of q. And third one, log to the base b of p raised to the power n will be equal to n times log to the base b of p. Now we have base changing formula. That is, if you have log to the base a of any number p and you want to change the base to some other number b. Here on the left hand side the base is a, but you want to change the base to be b. So the formula will be log to the base b of p divided by log to the base b of a. Then we have a result that e raised to the power log x will be x. And now we move to Theorem 5. Theorem 5 is on page 173 of your textbook, and it gives you the derivative of e raised to the power x. So according to this theorem, the derivative of the exponential function e raised to the power x will be e raised to the power x. This is the first part of it. And second part of this theorem gives us the derivative of the function log x is equal to 1 by x. Let us again discuss some results. If suppose we have the function y to be e raised to the power fx, that is again the composition of two functions, then what is going to be the derivative of this function dy by dx? That will be e raised to the power fx, because as you know, derivative of ex is ex multiplied by f dash x. So this is the first result. And then second result, if you have a function which is of this form log of fx, so what is going to be the derivative of this type of function? So as you know, the derivative of log x is 1 by x, and therefore the derivative of log fx will be 1 upon fx. But since it is the chain rule is applied over here, so you multiply it by f dash x. So directly you can write the derivative as f dash x upon fx. Now we move to exercise 5.4 of NCERT book, and let us discuss the questions. First one is, question says that differentiate the following functions with respect to x, and first function is given to you to be e raised to the power x upon sin x. Now students, by now you must be remembering almost all the results, because in same question we may be using more than one result. So here you have to find dy by dx, so we apply quotient rule. You can call it as u upon v, and let us remind the quotient rule. uv dash is equal to u dash into v minus v dash into u divided by v square, and hence the derivative will be derivative of ex is ex into sin x minus derivative of sin x will be cos x into ex divided by sin x का whole square means sin square x. So here you can take ex common and you will have sin x minus cos x upon sin square x. So this is the derivative of the required, this is the required derivative of the function sin x minus cos x upon sin square x. Question number 2 of exercise 5.4. Y is equal to e raised to the power sin inverse x. Now right now I had explained you the formula that if you have the function of this type y is equal to e raised to the power fx, then its derivative is going to be e raised to the power fx into f dash x. Here fx is sin inverse x, so y dash, that is dy by dx, is going to be e raised to the power sin inverse x. Its derivative will be e raised to the power sin inverse x multiplied by the derivative of sin inverse x. So what is the derivative of sin inverse x? 1 upon square root of 1 minus x square. So this is the answer, e raised to the power sin inverse x upon square root of 1 minus x square. Now question number 3, y is equal to e raised to the power x cube. So dy by dx is going to be, again you have e raised to the power fx, where fx is x cube. So its derivative will be e raised to the power fx only, that is e raised to the power x cube only, multiplied by the derivative of x cube. And the derivative of x cube is nothing but 3x square. So this is the answer, 3x square into e raised to the power x cube. Now we move to the next question, question number 4. Question number 4 says if the function y is sine of tan inverse of e raised to the power minus x. So how you are going to proceed for this question? Now again you can see it is the composition of three functions h, not only three, it is the composition of, we can say, four functions. So we don't try to apply too many formulas, we just remember one simple rule that if we have more than one function to be differentiated, then we are going to use the strategy that we are going to differentiate the first function, outermost function, copy down the innermost, multiplied by the derivative of next innermost, multiplied by the derivative of next innermost. So now let us find out dy by dx. Outermost function is sine of tan inverse e minus x. Now you know derivative of sine function is cos function. So it's going to be cos of tan inverse of e raised to the power minus x. Put it in a bracket, multiplied by chain rule. Since you have already found the derivative of sine function, so you just leave it and now you come to tan inverse function. Here you have to write a derivative of tan inverse e minus x. Now you already know that the derivative of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So derivative of tan inverse e minus x will be 1 upon 1 plus e minus x whole square. So we are done with the derivative of tan inverse also. But again, since tan inverse was applied on some function e minus x, so we have to multiply it by the derivative of e minus x. Derivative of e minus x will be e minus x multiplied by the derivative of the expression minus x. So derivative of minus x is minus 3. So you can see, students, we keep on finding the derivative of the next inner function till the time we find the derivative of the variable x. Now let us try to simplify. We can see that in numerator we are going to have minus e raised to the power minus x into cos of tan inverse of e raised to the minus x, and in the denominator we are going to have 1 plus e raised to the power minus 2x. So this is going to be the answer. Next question is y is equal to log of cos of e raised to the power x. Now let us find its derivative. Dy by dx will be, now again you can see outermost function is log, which is applied on cos ex. So log function applied on cos ex, cos function applied on ex, and exponential function applied on x. So as we know, I have already discussed, if you have log of fx, so its derivative is going to be 1 upon fx multiplied by f dash x. So here also in the question, derivative of log cos ex will be 1 upon cos ex, and in the numerator you have to write the derivative of cos ex. So let us write the derivative of cos ex. Cos ex, again the composition of two functions. So derivative of cos ex will be minus sin x into derivative of ex, which is ex, into derivative of x, which is 1, divided by cos ex. Now we can see minus sin ex upon cos ex becomes minus tan ex into ex. So you can rewrite it as minus ex into tan e raised to the power x. This is your derivative. Next question, y is equal to e raised to the power x plus e raised to the power x square plus e raised to the power x5. So which rule we are going to use? We are going to use this rule. Derivative of e raised to the power fx, which will be equal to e raised to the power fx into f dash x. So let us find out dy by dx. So ex, derivative of ex is ex. Now we have e raised to the power x square, where x square is a function. So derivative of ex square will be ex square multiplied by the derivative of x square, and derivative of x square is 2x. Similarly, ex raised to the power 5, its derivative will be e x raised to the power 5 multiplied by the derivative of x raised to the power 5, and derivative of x raised to the power 5 will be 5x 4. So this is the answer. Students, there were two more terms in this expression. They had put a dash dash, I had not seen that, and that was e raised to the power x cube also and e raised to the power x4 also, because they had put dash dash between x square and x5. So let us write down these two terms also. The derivative of ex cube will be ex cube into derivative of x cube, and ex4, the derivative of ex4 will be ex4 into the derivative of x4, which is 4x cube. Now question number 7, y is square root of e raised to the power root x, and it is given to you x is greater than 0, obviously because x is under the square root sign. Now I have already explained you that derivative of root x is 1 upon 2 root x, but if you have to find the derivative of root of fx, it will also be, how will you get it? By replacing x by fx. So 1 upon 2 root fx, but since it is a function, so you multiply it with the derivative of fx, that is f dash x upon 2 root fx. So here also, let us apply this rule. Derivative will be 1 upon 2 root e raised to the power root x. Now it has to be multiplied by the derivative of e raised to the power root x. So you can see this was fx. E raised to the power root x is fx. So this expression becomes equivalent to root of fx. So its derivative is 1 upon 2 root fx into derivative of fx, that is derivative of e raised to the power x. So now denominator is alright, we have to write the derivative of e root x. Derivative of e root x will be e root x into derivative of root x, which is 1 upon 2 root x divided by 2 root of e root x. So now next step is you take this 2 root x in the denominator and multiply it with 2 root of e raised to the power root x. 2 and 2 gets multiplied and root x comes inside this root. So x comes inside this root and hence the answer. Now next question is y is equal to log of log x, where x is greater than 1. Now we have already discussed that if we have log of fx and if we want to find its derivative, it is going to be 1 upon fx, and the derivative of fx, which is f dash x, is to be multiplied. So here the log is applied on log x. So its derivative will be 1 upon log x into derivative of log x. Derivative of log x is 1 by x into log x. So we get 1 upon x log x. Question number 9. Y is equal to cos x upon log x, where x is greater than 0. So apply the quotient rule. Dy by dx will be derivative of cos x is minus sin x into log x minus derivative of log x, which is 1 by x into cos x divided by log x whole square. Now you can take the LCM of the numerator, so you will have minus x log x into sin x. This x, it gets multiplied with sin x log x minus cos x divided by x log x whole square. So this is your question, and x is given to be 0 greater than 0, hence it is defined. What maximum you can do is you can take the negative sign common. So you will have negative common, x log x sin x plus cos x divided by x log x whole square. Now question number 10 is y is equal to cos of log x plus ex. Cos function is applied on another function, so again the composition of two functions. So now we have dy by dx will be equal to cos of fx. Now here what is applied? Here this situation is there that you have cos of fx, its derivative will be minus sine of fx multiplied by f dash x. So its derivative will be minus sine log x plus ex, and this whole expression is to be multiplied with the derivative of log x plus ex. Derivative of log x is 1 by x and derivative of ex is ex. So this is the answer. You can simplify. I don't think there is much simplification possible. So, but still I can write it minus of sine log x plus ex into 1 plus x ex upon x. That's all that we can do. We cannot solve it much. And this was the last question of this exercise, and with this I end up today's class. So you people please keep revising your concepts, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel.